is my finished look. I slayed as always, per usual. Yeah. This is the finishing look. When I tell you I ate the look up, you can't tell me I didn't eat.
You can't tell me I didn't eat.
Like, if you tell me I didn't eat the look up, you just a hater. You're just a hater. And that's all there's to it. Tune in the fuck next time. Alright, lovelies, we are back with another video. If you can't tell already, you already know the gist. If you're interested in seeing the last clip in the video, please feel free to stay tuned and make sure you click that notification button so you don't miss out when I upload new videos such as this one. As you can see, I'm going crazy with the blue eyeshadow. Just know that this is the first time of me actually knowing how to deal with the pigmented eyeshadows. Now, I wasn't a big fan of like really colorful eyeshadows because honestly, really and truly, I didn't even know how to properly apply pigmented eyeshadows in general. But now I know how to get the color to actually pop and actually stand out, and how to actually blend it, since my blending has gotten a lot better. Now, typically when you're dealing with pigmented eyeshadows, you typically want to apply the color as much as possible and leave it as bold. If you want it as bold and you don't want it as soft or as hazed, then you gotta continue to just pack on that color. And if you see the harsh line, you're gonna put other colors on top of it, such as this instance if you're looking at it in the clip as we speak. When you're applying the other colors on top of the eyeshadow, you don't necessarily have to blend out the first layer of eyeshadow that you applied first. Typically, you just want to apply another color that is going to blend in well with that color. Just for instance, you see me apply the blue eyeshadow at first, and I packed on that color as pigmented as I needed it to be, up to my liking, and then I applied the purple on top, which is why I did the purple, because they blend well together. So it's not much blending is needed, because the blending process is going to happen towards the lighter shades of the color. So I'm packing on each color until I get the desired ombre effect that I'm looking for. And I hope I explained that to the best ability to where you can understand it. But now I'm going in and I'm packing on that pink shade in the palette. Also, it's in the same James Charles palette. I did use the purple, go back in with the purple. Now I'm using my like Totally palette, and I'm going in with this pink shade, this light pink shade, and I'm going to be applying that right on top of the pink, the darker pink shade that I used at first. And this is where the actual blending process happens. As you go up in the lighter shades, you honestly want to make sure that these colors are still able to blend, so you don't see any harsh lines in between each of the colors. As you can see here, I am going lighter within the shades, but I am going to be blending that pink and purple out once I'm able to make sure that all of my colors are well blended. Now, you might have to go back in and use the rest of the product that you have on your brush, or the brush that you used previously with each color, because you want to use a new brush with every different eyeshadow that you apply, just so nothing gets muggy or all the colors start blending together and you can't really tell the difference. It took me a while to understand actually dealing with the different pigmented eyeshadows, because at first, girl, I was not good at it, like at all. When I first started doing pigmented eyeshadows and different stuff like that, it took me a while to actually get the colors to be as pigmented, because over time it'll like fade when I get to adding different colors and different stuff like that. And I was wondering why my colors tend to fade. It's also because I have something called delicate colors. So typically your pinks will be delicate, your purples will be delicate, meaning they tend to chafe when you rub them up against each other. So I actually came across this one video, can't remember if it was on TikTok or Instagram Reels, but what I took from the video was the method that I can use that worked best for myself, so that I can be able to have my eyeshadows as pigmented. Her technique was a little bit different, but I simplified her technique to one that works for me. And what I typically do is tap the color on and apply different colors, and then blend it out once I get towards the lighter shades of the colors. That's what best helped me get the pigmented colors that you see on my eye right at the moment. So that is just something that works for me. So if it works for you, try it out, see how it works, and let me know in the comments if it worked out for you. What I like to do is just to make sure those other colors are still shining through, I like to go ahead and just add more color on top of them just so they can blend. So the previous color that I used was the blue, then I applied the purple on top of the blue, went back in with the blue, then I typically go back in with the purple just to make sure those colors are blending well with each other, just in case if I do decide to do a whole blend over when I'm done applying each of the colors, just so everything can be nice and well blended. Then it will look seamless. It won't look patchy or anything like that. I'm just going to take a few moments of silence just so you can see how I came up with the rest of this eyeshadow look, and so you can really get into the details. Now we're gonna get up close and personal. As you can see, the colors are well blended. Now, as you can see, I already cut my cut crease off camera. So I am going in with that same blue shade, and I'm applying that to the outer corners of my eye. Now, if you want to know another technique that I used that was very, very, very beneficial for me and added so much value to my look, as you can see, after I cut my cut crease, as you can see, I know, I used to, say, don't do this step. But honestly, this step is a game changer if you're doing it correctly. But hold that thought, because I am going in with this beautiful neon palette by Profusion. You can get this palette from Walmart or anything like that. And then I'm going to be applying that blue shade. But what I wanted to tell you was, keep the concealer wet. I wouldn't say keep it, just completely like a whole bunch of product, but make sure the product is well blended when you're doing your cut crease, and make sure it's dried down just a little bit. But don't apply any setting powder on top. Don't apply anything on top like that that's going to set in that concealer. Such as like a neutral, because I used to go in and apply some type of setting powder or some type of nude eyeshadow on top of my concealer, and I realized that leaves room for patchiness also, and it doesn't allow the pigmented colors to actually stick. So you want to go in with a very light hand, as you can see I'm doing with this green shade that I use also from that neon palette, and I'm just applying that to the inner corner of my eye with a very, very light hand. I didn't use a very heavy hand because you also want the color to stick to the concealer first, and if you go in with a heavy hand and tap that color on like that, you might pick up some of the concealer with the eyeshadow, and then it leaves for a mess and you have to technically start over because it's not going to look right. Now, child, as I was doing this look, first off, I didn't know, typically when I started the look, I just was winging it because I didn't know exactly how I wanted the look to be or how I wanted the look to go. I just picked some colors and then the creation just started to transpire. which was very, very beneficial on my end. Because as I went along and just trusted the process with the look, I came out with this beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous look. As you can see, the eyeshadow is really, really popping and it's really pigmented. That is how I created my pigmented looks. Because typically all the videos that I've seen about like applying eyeshadow and doing different things with the eyeshadow and making it very pigmented, they just would not work for me. And it's not to down anybody else's creativity or anything like that. It's just simply to say that what worked for others might not simply work for you. So I had to really sit down with myself and really focus on what type of achievement that I wanted to become into play for myself. And I decided that tapping on the eyeshadow was the best method for me, and that it actually helped bring the creation that I wanted my eyeshadow to look to life. So typically when I'm applying any type of foundation, any type of eyeshadow, or any type of concealer or anything, I'm using a tapping motion throughout my whole process. I want to pick that color up and apply it in the area that it needs it to go. Not only that, I want it to be well placed. Also, it gives me a little bit more handle on the placements when I actually tap the product in instead of just, smearing it or rubbing it all the way in. If you haven't noticed already, we're not doing a chit chat today because I wanted to do a very detail oriented video in regards to how I got this eyeshadow look. Because when I say I was so proud of myself, I was so proud of myself when I did this look. I was super excited because I finally got the technique that worked for me down with the eyeshadow. So I hope that you try it out and it benefits you in some way, and it gives your whole makeup look a new game changer. And when you're creating your looks, I just want to say that take your time. If you're creating any type of look, please take your time, because that's when you're going to see the most detailed, and that's when you're going to learn the most from creating any type of look you do. Because you can't rush perfection, baby. You can't rush a masterpiece, and you dang sure can't rush to finish something because it's gonna look like it. Well, I got a little inside story on just my progress. So if you've been watching me for a while, you already know what video this is, and if you don't, I will put in the description box down below, so make sure you go check that video out. But when I first started this look, that is how my eyeshadow used to look. So I wouldn't say don't ever not get discouraged and give up and be like, oh, well, I don't think I'm going to be able to make this look come to life. Because honestly, you can. It just takes time, and it takes trial and tribulation. So me, I didn't ever give up, because I knew one day I was going to be able to obtain the eyeshadow, pigmented eyeshadow, colorful eyeshadow, however you want to say it, look. And that's why I'm saying, like, I'm so proud of myself, because I really obtained it. So it's definitely possible. It just takes time. Because I think that video was back in 2018, and I was 19 years old when I created that. So I am 24 years old now. So it took me quite a while just to get that look, for me to actually know the proper steps that works for me. I had to go through a lot of different things just to even get the look to obtain the way I have it now. And even then, I'm only going to get better from here. So if you're down for the ride, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe down below if you made it this far into the video, because we're going to grow together, okay? You gonna grow with me? We gonna grow together? Yeah, I think so too. Now, of course, with every makeup look, details is everything. Now, if you're not giving details in each look that you're doing, baby, then you're missing out. That's all I can say. Like, you're honestly missing out, because detail is everything within a makeup look. And the lip, baby, when I was doing this lip, I honestly didn't know what type of lip I wanted to use. So I did go in with a popsicle lip type look. And I'm happy I did, because it gives it candy. The eye candy, okay? It gives eye candy. And I think that's what I'm going to name this video. Now, let's take a moment of silence to really get into the zoom in, the close-up. Perfection. I know you see it. Now, don't talk about my big ass lashes, because, baby, go big or go home, okay? But thank you for making it to the end of this video, lovelies. I really appreciate you guys for being here. If no one told you today, you are special and you are beautiful. May I see you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and we out.
I just wanna have a good time. Turn around, get inside, and twirl that to the right. It's empire, it's empire. Bunny hop, drop, up. Cross your legs, turn around and clap. Shuffle to the left, let's glide. Take off